What's up, YouTube? Spook Show Lucky here for another Horrortainment video. Today, I have gotten a few things in the mail. I wanted to show them off, show you what I got. So, first up, we have our horror pack. It came in today. Gonna take a first look right here. Get it open for you. I know I've been not making quite as many videos lately. I've been working on some things and some new projects. A buddy of mine, me and him are actually opening a comic book store. So that was one of the things we're getting into. It's been taking a little time to build it, as well as the haunted house, still working on it. So we're just kind of taking our time with some of that. But we're in the horror pack. Let's see what we get in here. First up, we have Howl. And this is the Blu-ray subscription box. They always do a horror pack limited edition run. And this is one of those, Model Hunger. Deadly Crush. I've never seen any of these, by the way. And this, you know, they'll have the little stamp with the horror pack down here. So these are pretty neat when you get these. And Dead and Tombstone, unrated, with Danny Trejo. I've seen this. Danny Trejo is one of those actors. He's doing a lot of, and this also has Mickey Rourke in it as well. But he does a lot of the horror films, like the B-rated stuff, and I don't know. I've never really liked Danny Trejo a whole lot. I mean, he's one of those guys that's good to have, but his acting skills, I don't think they're up to par. I don't know. I like him, though. He seems like a cool guy. But, and he did good in, I think the best role that I've seen him in was the Halloween, the Rob Zombie Halloween. He seemed to do pretty well there. But some of his one-liners, I don't know, to me are just a little off. So the next box I got, this is going to be a huge box. I don't even know how I'm going to show you guys this. I'm opening it right now. I was online, and I was getting into horror comics. And I didn't have that many horror comic books, so I was really trying to beef up what I was going to get and start buying more stuff, I guess. And I bought a huge lot. Spent quite a bit of money on it. It just came in. And so this will take me a while to start opening them. So I'm going to stop right here and then come back once I have everything opened. Okay, guys, so I laid everything out here for you to easily see it. What I bought was this huge collection of comic books. It's all horror, it's all slashers, and it's all in runs. So everything here you see is actual complete sets, which is awesome. I've had some comics that I've showed before, and you guys have seen them, but they weren't the complete sets, and I hate like piecing things together. So when I get my comics, I want them in complete runs. And I'll show you some of these right now. I got to do this with one hand, so I'm holding the phone different. So we got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Raising Cain series. This is 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3. And as I show these, I'm just going to set them off to the side here. So that's what we'll do. Show you everything. Another Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the Grind series. That's book 1, book 2, and book 3. Those are really neat. Let's get over here. Nightmare on Elm Street. We'll go to this. This is the paranoid stuff. What's really cool about what this guy had in his collection, well, this is this is book 1, this is book 2, and this is book 3. Awesome artwork. But on the backs, he has the variants that are actually the foil copies. And these are usually special limited editions to where they'll be limited to a certain number. And that's what's on every one of these. So front and back, you've got the regular edition, and then their foil special editions, which are going to be limited to a set amount of copies, which is awesome. Then I didn't even realize Blue Water came out with Leprechaun and had a comic book series for Leprechaun. So this is actually the complete run of Leprechaun. This is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, and that's it. So it was a run of 4. Like I said, I didn't even realize that. If you guys knew about it, put it in the comments below. Hang on 1 second, we'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to get the dogs under control, but moving right along, we have Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. This is a really cool series. These are actually pretty hard to get, and when you do find them, they're pretty expensive. But this is the 1 of 6, number 2 of 6. Look at that artwork. You got Ash in the mouth, Jason coming out of the eye, Freddy just sitting there. It's awesome. Number 3 of 6. I love this artwork on all of these. This is some of my favorite comic book artwork, is the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash stuff. There's number 4 of 6, 5 of 6, and 6 of 6. And then I have another run of these. So I'm going to put these back and show you. Second run of these is number 1, number 2, and this is the 2009 copies. This is all done by Dynamite. That's number 3, number 4. You see these kind of match up, so they look really good together, all 3 of these. Because they actually, the gun barrel, you see when you put the comics together, matches up there. So it's all supposed to go together. Number 5 here, and then number 6. And this is another matchup piece. You can see Jason in the background, and he's chainsawing it. So awesome. Especially when that artwork goes together like that. Like, I love how you can put the comic books together. And that's another reason why it's so important for me to get like complete sets. Now I have these by Innovation. These are old. So you have the Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare, and that's part 1. This is part 2 and part 3. See him playing the video game there. And there's some more of these Innovations. Nightmare on Elm Street, the beginning. And there's only 1 and 2 in here. See, they kind of match up and look the same. These are really nice. Then we have these magazines. It's a Marvel magazine. But it's Nightmare on Elm Street. You see, he's got it wrapped up in the tree. Really awesome. And then Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. This is the first issue. So this is actually number 2. There's really nice artwork on those, so I enjoy having those. Next, we have a leather book. So these are actually leather, what's considered a leather copy. This is Jason X. And then we have some kind of random issue. This is number 1 of Friday the 13th. And then there's 1 of 2 Friday the 13th Pamela's Tales. This kind of tells you about the beginning of Jason and how he came to be. So those are both 1 of 2 of those. Then moving on, we have the Badlands. This is 1 of 2. They're marked. It's pretty neat. It's drawn out in the snow there. And there's number 2 on the back side. Then we have a whole run of Chucky stuff. So there's actually a lot of Chucky in here. And I'm not sure what sets went where. So I'm going to actually have to look these up a little better, but most of all of them say first issue. These were done by Brian Pulido. Really cool artwork on a lot of these. And a lot of it's just still shots like this, but then you'll have the artwork on the back sides. So I'm guessing these kind of went together in a set. I'm not real sure. Both of these are final issues. And maybe those are some variants. Who knows? So we got Nightmare on Elm Street. It's part 1, part 2, 3. Love that artwork. 4. This is all from 2007. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. So those are all the Nightmare on Elm Street runs, and this is going to be the Wildstorm run. So that's a pretty good little run of comics. And then we have the Fear Book stuff. These are pretty cool, and these are also with the foil packaging and stuff like that. A lot of this stuff will come with COAs, so you'll have your certificate of authenticity. This one had 800 copies, platinum full edition. They're signed, so those are neat. And I've got a few of those things that are going to be signed in here. So then we got some Friday the 13th stuff as well. And like this is another run. I'll probably keep all these together. But this is a pretty hard book to get. And this is the Friday the 13th. This is another foil copy. And this one was limited to 850 copies. And obviously the more rare it is, the less copies that are out there. And then you have this Jason X foil copy. And it's got a COA. And there was actually 1,500 of these. So this one's not quite as rare. but still a pretty expensive book. And this one is just Friday the 13th. It's kind of sitting by itself. Then we have Tales of Horror, sorry. It's a New Line Cinema comic. I think they only did one of these. I'm not sure if they did more. I'm gonna have to look into that. But, you know, we got it. It was part of the deal that I got, and then I got the Friday the 13th, and I already have this copy, or this book actually, signed. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Let me take you over here. So you see that's the #1 issue. Mine's a 9.4 graded in there. So I have a couple of these books already, and I kind of framed some of these, but this one's actually my one that's signed by Adrian King, Kane Hodder, and Tom Savini. So you can see their signatures there. So I already have that CGC graded, which is cool. But now I have the complete run. There's one, #2, #3, #4, and I love this book. #5 and #6. So those are neat. And moving on, I have some TCM. Look at this artwork. Just his back's getting blown out. How awesome is that? I think these are kind of the random books that I set to the side. So this is Nightmare on Elm Street. And these are the Fear books. And I actually have copies of both of these with the gold foil, or at least this one with the gold foil. So his glove and everything is gold. And I think those were limited to 500 copies, so those are more rare. They weren't in this stack, but I do have them. Then we have a Halloween, 30 Years of Terror. I've got Friday the 13th, and this is #1 of 2. How I spent my summer vacation. So those are both there. Then we have a full run of Puppet Master, which is cool, and this was done by Full Moon. I didn't even know Puppet Master had comics, but there's one, #2, #3, and #4. So there was a run of 4 on these. And then we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the last run of comics, guys. #2, #3, #4, #5, and #6. Alright guys, so that was the comic book haul and collection that I got in. I think if I had to pick my favorites, it's definitely going to be these foil copies with the certificate of authenticities. Those things are just so neat. It's hard to get those. This Jason X actually has a poster in it, and that's what the COA was stating, that there was only 1,500 copies printed and packaged with the Jason X poster. Obviously, I'm going to leave it in the packaging. Hopefully, it becomes a little more valuable over time. But there was a ton of comics here, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. I'm going to try to go ahead and cut this down so we can keep it a little bit shorter. I know it was a bunch of comics to go through and check out. Guys, what was your favorite? Drop it below in the comments. Tell me what you think I scored the best on and which piece you liked the most. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we will catch you next time.